Wolverines!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average LGOP enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video, there are two purposes. The first purpose is going to be to thank you. We'll get into that in a second. The second purpose is going to be how to fight like a paratrooper, because I think there's so much out there in the world of guys talking about this tactic. That's me. I'm talking about guys talking about this tactics or that tactic video or this battle drill or this method of, how to dig a trench, how to take a trench, how to do a raid, how to do an ambush, whatever, right? But today I'm going to be talking to you about how to fight like a paratrooper and why most civilians can directly relate and win and be successful if the end of the world ever were to happen fighting like a paratrooper. So that's going to be the main theme of the video. But before we get into that, I need to say thank you. I've been making YouTube content, loose term. I've been making YouTube videos for over, I believe, for about a year, right? For about a year, we'll just say. And during that time, I've learned a lot about myself and I've learned a lot about you guys. And I've learned what drives me, and what drives me is educating. Educating with some humor here and there, but educating you guys through tactics videos, gun videos, equipment videos, you name it, but it's all the same theme. It's just preparing you. So I have to say, from the bottom of my heart, I know it sounds cheesy, but from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for keeping this channel alive. Thank you for doing all the liking, the commenting, the sharing, all the weird YouTube stuff, the Patreon. I can't say enough good things about the Patreon, right? I know, and it's not me sitting here like shilling for myself. I'm being legit, okay? The Patreon, the members of the Patreon are what keeps this channel funded, because YouTube doesn't support people that create gun content, right? Or any sort of pro-Second Amendment or pro-freedom, i.e. tactics, right? So every time I make content, and you guys hit the like button, and you comment, and you share it, or if you troll me, right? There's a ton of you guys out there, for whatever reason, that's okay, that you hate me, and you think that, oh, Trench Grenade, he's so cringe, or whatever, right? Well, just know, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I've hopefully planned this to come out around Christmas, on Christmas Day. So that way, hopefully, it will give you guys something to just sit back and smile, right? Because everyone wants to be a part of a community, myself included, right? And that's why we have the Discord server. Again, shameless plug, the Patreon, right? Through the Patreon, you get access to the Discord server. But the purpose of that is so that guys, one, to fund the channel, but two, to give guys an ability to meet like-minded individuals so they can find buddies, like I say in almost every video, to train with and to game with. Because I think community is so important, especially for the modern, I'll say young man, right, in America. So many men are lost and misguided. And you can go off on a tangent talking about, oh, well, look at Garantham's model. This isn't that, right? People are fighting with a lot of demons, whether it be through financial issues, health issues, maybe you're going through a divorce, or you broke up, or whatever, right? You have custody battle with your kids, or maybe you just have bad leadership. If you're in the Army, or you're a cop, or you're a paramedic, and you have bad leadership at your job, that stuff can wear on you, right? So legitimately, guys, thank you. Okay, thank you from Nighthawk. I know she's standing behind the camera right now, but thank you from Nighthawk and I. This channel is made possible by you and the community that we are creating. Okay, so Merry Christmas. Before I get into the LGOT video here, Merry Christmas. Have some fun during this time. Reflect. Remember, what makes this country great is our ability to express ourselves and form communities, right? So it's okay if you hate me or you hate whatever content creator out there. It doesn't matter. What matters the most is that you find a community, okay? So thank you for giving me a community. Thank you for giving me a part-time job outside of the Army that gives me the ability to express all the things, because if you've ever been a senior NCO, you know there's going to be 20% of your platoon or of your company or your platoon, they're just not going to be receptive to the information. That could be your own leadership failure, and not as much on them. But the point is, this channel gives me the ability to vent out over a decade of pedigree, right, as a paratrooper, as a drill sergeant, to you guys, and you guys to either retain it or just make fun of me for wearing a balaclava and World War II paratrooper gear and smirch in the woods, okay? So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. If you're, if you're having a rough day on Christmas or throughout your break, you can DM me on Instagram, or you can legitimately, like, if you're one of those dudes that are like, hey, I need a community and I can't afford the Patreon, leave a comment and I'll send you, I'll link in with you and send you a free link to the Discord if you really need that community. And I mean that, okay? Okay, so let's talk, now that I've, what is it called? What are the kids called? Glazing, right? Is that what they call it, right?
No idea.
Do not come. Okay, listen, now that I have thanked you guys for like 10 hours, much needed though, right? You should always give credit where credit's due, and you guys are the reason why the channel's here. Okay, let's talk about and Nighthawk, we'll have to put a skip to this if you don't want to hear trench talk. But let's talk about fighting like a paratrooper. Why are paratroopers so successful, okay? Why did I bring out this random Yugo M70, right? Chamber's clear. I'll just show you guys because, 4 rules of weapon safety and all the stuff and all the things, okay? Boom, some old Russian trashy ammo. Why am I dressed like this? Well, I've been very lucky in my military career, and I've been able to serve in 2 different airborne units, right? Both with the 173rd and formerly 425, Sparta Lives, right? Shout out to all my 1G homies out there. But the reason why paratroopers are so successful is 3 main reasons, right? And you can make a longer list, but for the civilian application, I'm going to hold this like a weirdo, right? For the civilian application of getting good at tactics, it comes down, or being efficient and being able to outmaneuver and destroy your enemies in Minecraft, it really comes down to 3 different things, right? Point number 1, and this is what you guys can hopefully apply with your Minecraft server, right? So, well, one thing, asterisk, military surplus gear can still be used, okay? So if you have a bunch of military surplus gear and you're sitting on it and you're like, hey, I can't use it because it's not a Cry JPC and it's not a multicam, no, it doesn't matter. Use whatever you got right now. If you're hurting on money, go get out and train, even if it's just some weird looking Smersh gear or whatever you got and some old World War II paratrooper stuff, go out and use it, right? It's still a field jacket and it's still a fighting load carrier and it's good. Okay, point number 1. Okay, point number 1 for fighting like a paratrooper. That's going to be training and preparation. And that can be directly applied to civilians. What do I mean by that? Getting your mindset, your physical fitness, and your gear. Mindset, physical fitness, and your gear. Those things have to be prepared now. And that is why paratroopers are so successful, because airborne units remain on a constant state of readiness of having to deploy within either 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 or 72 hours, right? There's different echelons of preparedness. Because airborne units are always having to prepare, we have to train and we have to do PT, live fire drills, etc., right? Do leadership conferences. That way our mindset and our bodies remain ready. Okay, that is why airborne units train to the high level that we do, right? So as a civilian, your thought process should be, okay, I need to train physically in the gym every day like I need to be ready tomorrow, right? So get that ready. Your mindset has to be sharp. And now is the time to refine your mindset during holiday block leave or holiday vacation. It's like, okay, what are my values? What am I preparing to do? You're preparing to defend yourself and your community, right? The United States, bottom line, right? From any sort of foreign invasion or internal, right? Domestic. If there's some sort of domestic tyrannical overthrow, you have to be prepared to defend your community and your way of life. So getting that mindset ready now is going to be the game changer for saving you and your community and your loved ones, right? So number 1, physical fitness. Number 2, mindset. And number 3, gear. Get the best gear that you can afford without going broke or in debt. You shouldn't be using credit to buy gear, right? You shouldn't be having to pay off, a credit card because you had to go out and buy a knight's armament, rifle, and an aim point red dot. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying buy the best rifle and plate carrier or flick that you can get right now, but bottom line, make sure it's zeroed and all your kit is set up today. Okay, use this time to make sure you have a Minuteman kit ready to grab. Okay, so again, point number 1 is physical fitness, mindset, and gear. Point number 2, assembly areas. Establish an assembly area with Minutemen in your community. That way, when things do go south, you have a link-up point. It's so crucial that you know people nearby where you live to link in with. If you don't know anybody in your community that's prepared, that has their physical fitness in order, and all the things I covered in point number one, if you don't have somebody that lives near you and your spouse isn't in line with those things, then you're going to have a rough time during a WROL doomsday scenario, SHGF, right? So get those things prepared now, right? Get them prepared now and establish an assembly area. Okay, so point number two, establish a link up point with people nearby in your community. That way, if things do go south, establish a PACE plan, a communications plan, primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. Okay, establish a GOTWA, okay, a 5-point contingency plan, and a link up point for people that live near you. That way, you can actually survive or give yourself a better chance of surviving and not get one tapped by that weird drunk dude drinking vodka with a Mosin Nagant with no rear sight, okay? And yes, a lot of guys will still get one tap by a dude with a Mosin, okay? If you got this far, hit the like button. All right, guys, point number 3, LGOP, little groups of paratroopers. What does that mean? So, the reason why paratroopers are so successful is because they have everything in point number 1 we discussed, physical readiness, mindset, gear is ready at all times. Point number 2, we have an assembly area. Okay, we know when we jump into the drop zone or wherever, when we infill, we're always going to have an assembly area where we're going to meet up with our other little groups of pissed off paratroopers. And we have a understanding down to the lowest level down to the lowest private, okay, of what the in-state mission is, what the commander's intent is. So point number 3 is LGOP, little groups of pissed off paratroopers. You guys need to group together in your local areas, and you need to start forming these LGOPs, okay? Start forming these, I don't want to say the word, but start forming these communities in your area that are healthy, that you guys hold each other accountable, and you train. Form your LGOP now. Okay, little groups of pissed off paratroopers. And when I say paratrooper, you don't have to be in the Army. You don't have to be an actual silver wing, badass, red-blooded American paratrooper. You don't have to actually be in the Army to be what I'm talking about here today, right? So form your LGOPs, little groups of pissed off paratroopers. Find the people near you, form that community, and make sure they follow the things we talked about here today. Okay, guys. So, in summary, thank you. Seriously, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for everything you guys do day in and day out. In case no one has told you, you're doing the best you can. Keep doing it, okay? Get yourself in order. Follow the 3 things we talked about here today, okay? Mindset, gear, preparedness, physical fitness, your assembly areas, and your LGOPs, right? Follow the things we talked about here today, and hopefully it will benefit you in the long run. Okay, Nighthawk, any words of encouragement?
Have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, be safe, be smart. If you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.
Yep, if you're going to get in a fight, you better win. Don't fight the locals. Okay, guys, thanks for being here. I've talked enough. Nighthawk is ready to go. Relax. We're going to edit this up. We'll get it posted up for Christmas Day. That way you guys can enjoy it. We're going to eat a good steak dinner, and we're going to reflect and relax and remember the little things that actually matter. Thanks for being here, guys. And until next time, this could be Trench Grenade and Nighthawk, your average little group of pissed off paratroopers signing out. Cheers.
Wolverines!